Well, it's a little past 7 o'clock, and we are back with Rise and Shine. We have our two guests here. Before I do the introduction, let me talk to you about what's to come. Actually, things have so evolved as of now that we can't talk about business and technology in mutual exclusion. It's those are two concepts which actually should be talked about together. They are actually enjoying a successful marriage, especially when the business sector is concerned. So today we have two individuals from the Lanka Nippon BizTech Institute, which is a pioneer when this marriage, this combination between business and technology is concerned. So first of all, we have Mr. Dinesh Saparmadu, who is the Deputy Chairman of the LNBTI, also known as Lanka Nippon BizTech Institute. And we have Mr. Shun Fukuda, who is the Corporate Advisor of the LNBTI. So today we're going to talk about the Lanka Nippon BizTech Institute and its mechanism, what it does and all of that, and we are going to focus on some of the CSR projects that they have in mind. So very good morning to you, sirs.
Good morning. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for providing this kind of opportunity for us to talk about LNBTI.
Thank you very much.
Would you want to start
Yes,
with the first question?
So let's learn a little bit about Lanka Nippon BizTech Institute. What does it do? How did the whole collaboration between Sri Lanka and Japan take place?
Sure. So LNBTI is a joint venture between Metatechno Inc. of Japan and Zenid Ventures. Zenid Ventures is actually a venture arm of Zenid Software Group. The objective of actually setting up LNBTI is been in the cards for maybe more than 5 to 6 years. I have known our chairman, Mr. Koga Michio, for more than 15 years, and we have been talking about what can we do to really bring some of the Japanese technology, some of their business mannerisms to Sri Lanka and really build a sustainable and a long-term institute in Sri Lanka. So when we discussed that, and actually it all happened maybe about 4 years back, we said, okay, let's start something that we can contribute to Sri Lanka. And that's how the LNBTI was built or kind of really started. And the vision for LNBTI is to give our Sri Lankan youth the opportunity to learn business and technology, at the same time to learn the Japanese way of doing business. So we are also bringing in certain amount of Japanese culture, the Japanese mannerisms into our curriculum to build that. And we have chairman Mr. Kogamicho has actually put a charter which is 50 years. So we are looking at a 50-year charter. We may not be here in 50 years, but the institute will be there, and that we will build up to be one of the best institutes that brings the two countries together, and it's a win-win for both. I think so. That's really the beginning of LNBTI.
Right.
Yeah. So as an outsider, when an outsider looks at it, I think quality standard is such an important thing in such a venture as this. So as a corporate advisor to the LNBTI, how do you see the maintenance of quality in LNBTI? My question is to you.
Okay, yes. Then as a corporate officer of Metatechno, which is, as Dinesh-san mentioned, the parent software engineering company of LNBTI in Japan side, jointly with Zenid Ventures in Sri Lanka. I have been involved establishment of LNBTI from the beginning for more than 4 years, along with Mr. Dinesh Saparmadu. And then in the process of the designing LNBTI syllabus, we referred the syllabus of information engineering faculty of major Japanese university. So LNBTI syllabus is very much fit with high quality and solid academic program provided Japanese universities. And in addition to standard curriculum, we invite Japanese university lecturers time to time to give lectures at LNBTI in different surrounding knowledge in addition to main subject. So the last year, actually, we provided 3 visiting lectures by Japanese university professors such as Ritsumeikan, Waseda, and then Kyushu Institute of Technology. So another key feature of LNBTI is provide Japanese language and then business culture studies so that the LNBTI higher diploma can easily working for Japanese companies. And courses are maintained by 2 experienced native Japanese teachers. And then and it has now become the 3 of them from this second year. And although there are many Japanese language schools in Sri Lanka, it is very unique attempt for us being taught by all Japanese native speakers. It is very important point. And then finally, the LNBTI got an endorsement from Ministry of Education, Government Japan, that a higher diploma of LNBTI eligible to sit an exam to transfer to the 3rd grade of any Japanese universities. That was happening in last December. And this fact proves our high quality academic standards of LNBTI.
Right. So, and that gives a broader aspect as to what the Institute is about to come in the years to come and in what areas that we are learning about. But if we have to highlight some of those mannerisms which you mentioned, what would it be like? Just a couple of examples so that people will be aware. Okay, so we understand, we know how big Japan is. We know as a growing nation we need to step it up and learn a few tactics as well. But what sort of mannerisms are we looking at?
So we are looking at what we call the Japanese business mannerisms. So part of that is actually teaching the Japanese language as one.
Okay.
But at the same time, the way of business in Japan, how do you actually the simple things, is that how do you give your business card? So these are things that will be actually built into the curriculum in time to come, because usually in Sri Lanka we give the business card, I open my wallet and give you to like this. There's a way of giving
handling
it. In Japanese, what you would do is you would turn the business card for the person to read and we'll give it in that. So that's one of the Japanese mannerisms. Like that, there are many interesting, because a lot of that culture and that's what for me is very personal in one aspect, is built on respect. It is built on what we would really kind of see that should we be treated if we were in that. So these are some of the things. For me, that's why I have a lot of long affiliation with Japan, is because I have really loved that kind of respect and also hard work. So Senid itself is, we are almost 21 years, so we have actually being in the IT business for 21 years. We are in 30 countries. We do a lot of stuff, but Japan has a very special place for me because of that aspect of the business and, the once we kind of work, it's a very different. So we want to incorporate some of those into our curriculum and to our students to be able to gain that knowledge. So when they go and work with a Japanese company in Japan or work with other companies, Sri Lanka or in the region, they bring some of those things into their workplace.
Right.
Speaking of incorporation because of cultural appropriation and all of that, how does LNBTI kind of cater to the advanced level students and the university level students in the country?
Yeah, so one of our key aspect for LNBTI is what we call our awareness programs about this with our school system in Sri Lanka, especially advanced level. So actually we have a Ministry of Education has given us a certification to conduct seminars. So what we do is actually part of our social responsibilities that we have been conducting seminars for advanced level students in both in physics and mathematics, from from Gampaha to Galle to Kurunegala, and in Colombo schools we have been actually conducting these seminars. That's actually one part. Second also is that we have been, because some of these visiting lecturers, when they come, we actually hold public seminars. We know that we have been doing seminars on robotics, we have been doing seminars on what is called the new things called IoT, which is Internet of Things. So we have been kind of doing these public seminars and giving an awareness of what are the new trends and technologies that are there. So because one of the things that I have noticed is that, you know, we have a very bright community of youth, but at the same time, you know, there's the awareness of what needs to be kind of that they should pursue their careers and stuff like that is not known. So it's part of this is really to kind of give them an awareness, not only for the students but also for the parents, to be able to know about how should they advise or channel their sons and daughters to move into, you know, areas of higher opportunity. Because as a nation of 21 million, you know, we have to move, I always say we have to move up in the value chain. So our value addition comes from advanced technology and being able to kind of create a higher level of output. And how does that happen? Not by being like, you know, some of our neighbors, we are being more mass produced. We need to be more niche, but we need to be very good in what we do in niche. So that's how when we go out to market Sri Lanka as a destination for IT, I always say, you know, come to Sri Lanka if you want very niche, very high end. If you want large numbers, you know, there are other countries that you can go.
I think we're bringing you visuals
one of the
right
seminars
now.
that was conducted last week.
Yes, so these are some of the seminars that we are actually doing with advanced level students in the region. And we also do something very interesting also, because, you know, during the time they finish their A levels and when we are waiting
That's
for
like a gap between
the gap, we actually do some English and IT courses, you know, free courses for people to kind of get to know. Because again, part of this is also to give them an awareness of you know, what is out there. Because I believe as an advanced level student, once you finish your advanced level, you must look at all the choices and not to jump into the first thing that you get. Because in when we were doing advanced level, we only had very few narrow areas, you know, you want to be a doctor or engineer, whatever. Now it is so vast. It's so vast, so that, you know, it's always, I say, you must follow your passion. And if your passion is to go and do graphic design, go and do that, because you will have a good career in the future for that. If your passion is to do something in the robotics or something, you can do that, because of current capabilities. I mean, it's open.
Mr. Fukuda, I'm going to ask you, what are the benefits that a graduate can earn if they take the course? How will they benefit here or in Japan or any other part of the world?
Yes, and then completing the 3-year courses and the obtaining LNBTI higher diploma, they will have both good knowledge on ICT engineering knowledge and also Japanese language efficiencies. And it will lead them either directly getting job opportunity in Japanese related companies, or being transferred to the third grade of Japanese university for further study and degree status. Although LNBTI higher diploma are eligible to sit an exam to transfer to the third grade of any Japanese universities, as I mentioned earlier, it would be still difficult for students to pass the exam due to the language, difficulty, because those examination papers are written by Japanese, most of the cases. And then LNBTI is now working intensively to make affiliation with Japanese universities, so that LNBTI higher diploma would be able to being transferred by recommendation letter from the LNBTI. It is because LNBTI curriculum is well prepared for sending out students to Japanese universities with very specific program, focusing study in Japan. And at this point, we are conducting around 20 universities in Japan on such affiliation, and have signed up a memorandum of agreement with Josai International University, JIU, already. And then a professor from JIU visited LNBTI last week, and two professors from two other universities are visiting LNBTI later this week. So as such, in such, LNBTI is attracting the good interest from Japanese universities. And additionally, also during LNBTI studying process, we introduces practical training through the internship program with partner companies, and also even planning short-term, the studying experience tour to Japan during second or third grade period. So through such arrangement, LNBTI higher diploma will find very good job opportunities in Japan, Sri Lanka, and the worldwide ICT and its related industries. That's to be the benefit. Yeah.
Right.
So
That's
several
very
benefits out there.
comprehensive, but
Very
it's good
comprehensive.
that we learnt a lot of gaps that you probably had in mind, which would give you the avenue to see the kind of benefits that you would gain by taking the course.
Yeah, so just one small thing to add, because if you really look at Japan, it's actually going through a shrinkage of their population. I think a lot of us know about it. So there is really a good demand for IT and other professionals into Japan. So if you look at, because and they expect in the next 2 to 3 years there's going to be a huge need and a vacuum, and that's one reason I think there's opportunity for.
Right.
Yeah. So I think we have come to almost at the end of the show, and but I have my final question to you, Mr. Saparmadu. If there are any interested viewers out there, I think especially parents, who will be wanting to know about the upcoming projects and workshops and seminars that your LNBTI is going to conduct, now is the time to
Yeah,
tell
so
viewers
actually,
out
so
there.
LNBTI is actually located in High Level Road. It's actually 278 High Level Road in Maharagama. So I think I would encourage people to just visit and look at our facilities. One of the things we did when we actually set up the thing is actually we have set up it to the Japanese standard itself. I always say, you must go and see the toilets, because, those are also, into the Japanese standards. That's just one of the key things. And you can also visit our website. It's very simple. It's lnbti.lk. And if somebody wants to give a call, you can also reach our teams at 0777 3360000. 0777 3360000. Thank you very much.
Right. That reminds us on the CSR projects that is yet to come as well, and that was with Lanka Nippon BizTech Institute. Joining us, the Deputy Chairman of LNBTI and Chairman of HCINI Group of Companies, Mr. Dinesh Saparmadu, together with Mr. Fukuda-san, the Corporate Advisor for LNBTI on board on Rise and Shine, educating you on a different aspect. And thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us today. Maybe learn a few
Yes.
details on Japan.
I realize that there are
Japanese.
so many other
Yeah.
avenues open to you, more than just becoming a doctor or a lawyer or engineer or even this. There are more.
Or learning another
than-
language. That's a
another language.
fantastic area that you can approach or start with. We will catch you on International Women's Day tomorrow. And have yourself a wonderful Wednesday.